So let me explain what I'm going to do for the final exam. So I am changing what we were supposed to do for the final. All right. What was supposed to happen for the final is you were supposed to be presenting a lesson from the final project that you're going to do with Rooter. All right, because in this class, because this class satisfies the 308, the oral presentation requirement and the research requirement. Okay, so the research project that you did satisfies the research part of 348. But then I have to score you on your oral presentation skills as well for you to get 348 credit. So to do that, so normally I would have done that when we met on the very last day during the final exam slot, and you would be presenting a lesson from the content that you researched for Rooter's class, okay? But that's not going to happen. And I am going to count then as your oral presentation component, the video that you're going to make for me teaching a segment from your unit plan, and then also in that same video, so it can be, two different clips, you're going to spend 15 to 20 minutes describing the highlights of your unit. And I decided to do it this way because I need to be selfish on my own behalf, because when it comes to grading a unit plan, it takes me per unit plan about 2.5 hours to grade each plan. What I typically do is I do 1 unit plan per day typically. So, your class of 14, it's going to take me 2 weeks to get through them. But normally you would be presenting a lesson during your field placement, and your cooperating teacher would analyze that lesson. All right, that can't happen. And therefore, if I tell you to make me a video, then that means that I have to add to my 2.5 hours that I'm already devoting to each unit plan, I have to add another half hour to watch the video. All right, so that's why I decided to double dip with the unit plan and make that part, the oral presentation part, the final exam grade. All right, so what that does do, that I hope no one feels this is unfair, but what it does do is in a way makes your unit plan, which is already 25% of your grade. All right, so this is a huge part of your grade, but it adds more weight to your unit plan, so to speak, because you're presenting from what you do for your unit plan. All right, so it puts that much more pressure on you to really do a good job with this assignment if you want to get a good grade in this course. So anyway, when I am grading your presentation, you will see that I added to the unit plan folder, I added the rubric that I used when I was grading those oral presentations the last time I taught the course. I think the rubric should still work about, all lines are still relevant, even though the assignment has changed a little bit. So at this point, I plan to still use that same rubric for evaluating your lesson segment. Okay, so you will be doing 2 different things, right? One of them will be a description, all right? And so I will be grading you on your presentation skills, your speaking skills, the ability to present your ideas in a way that makes sense, right? To be engaging with your imaginary audience, all right? Those are things that I'm going to be grading you on, all right? And then you want to pick the best part of your lesson where you have a good anticipatory set. That's an important thing on the rubric, a good anticipatory set. And you can do something that engages your imaginary audience in learning. And, you need to be, you're graded on how engaging, how interesting you can make your presentation. And that's going to then count for that last 15% of your grade, right? The final exam grade.